day across the board. You can see a little bit of haze there, so that means the marine layer definitely there, but it was a little MIA this morning. Kind of surprised at how fast it cleared out, and it also came back a couple of times, so in Ventura anyways. And just, you know, good weather, but of course the marine layer, our main weather feature, so we're watching it very closely. As we look at our advisories, excessive heat watch has popped up. Now that would be interior portions of LA, say Riverside, San Bernardino counties, so it's not really in our region, but it does show that there's a slight change coming as far as inland areas getting a little warm the next couple of days. The beaches, though, should probably stay out of the penalty box as far as any real big warmth. And the monsoon also staying a little bit to our east and north shouldn't be a factor as we head into early August. 98 degrees today in Ojai, Goleta 77, and Ventura a 70, and then Lompoc 73, Pismo 67, and Paso Robles one of the warm spots, usually at 90. But you'll likely see a little increase over the next day or two, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And there is our active tropics right there in the middle, spinning a very small, low-end hurricane by the name of Hilda. And then just to the left, you can see there's another system right there. That one probably is going to fizzle out, but the X that is right here, that's our next area of concern, and that would be Ignacio. So we're keeping an eye on that. That may take a little turn to the north and then move off to the west like they usually do. And that little turn to the north could actually pick up our surf in about a week and in a few days or so. And 70s right now, 86 in Gaviota. You're actually getting a little bit of an increase, and that tells us that we're probably seeing a little bit of a sundowner effect. And look how localized it is. Pretty much once you get just a little bit to the east of Gaviota, it drops off very quickly. So this might get a little fire watch issue officially, or a wind advisory, but it's such a localized area, so small that it usually doesn't get that, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. And humidity values have dropped a little bit along the coastline, and that's because we've turned the wind just a tad bit more out of the north. Big area of high pressure is going to push to the west coast just a little bit, and we'll still see that familiar battle where it stays very hot inland, but the coastline and just a few miles inland should stay on the mild side, which is good news. We haven't really seen a big coastal heat wave. Those usually come a little bit later in our summer season, so right now we're still doing pretty good with that. And there's your future fog tomorrow. Watch how it socks in for the central coast, but then it really doesn't show up except for a few areas of maybe down by Port Hueneme, Point Mugu. It doesn't look like the marine there is going to be real strong over the next couple of days, especially south of Point Conception. Probably come back more toward the middle and second half of next week. So central coast, expect the fog in the morning, probably a little bit more patchy in nature and maybe even missing completely as you head farther south and east. And there are your temperatures for both Monday, and watch, you can see your areas. Now Gaviota biting at a 92. That is interesting. So that means the computer is definitely feeling that a stronger northerly flow is developing. So we'll have to watch that closely. And then as we head into Monday or Tuesday, a little boost for a lot of our inland areas, and Gaviota still holding on to the potential for that little northerly flow. So something to watch, because that means that our fire issues kind of get a little bit upped as far as seeing growth with the north wind is always what we have to keep an eye on. And there are your temperatures, 70s to low 80s for the Santa Barbara South Coast, and of course keeping an eye on those northerly winds, especially toward the afternoon and early evening, the sundowner hours. And partly cloudy and mild as you head farther north. Really no big issues. Cuyama a little warm, but not too bad at 100. And then the southern Salinas Valley, a couple of low 90s for Paso Robles and Atascadero. Very warm there. And the beaches, 60s and 70s. Wow, just another stellar mild day for the most part. As we head down into Ventura County, lack of fog will likely keep areas like Ojai definitely on the warm side at 102, Santa Paula 93, Camarillo at 82, and then as you head out to the beaches, 60s and 70s. Surf, fortunately, the lack of right now should change a little bit tomorrow as the southern hemisphere swell starts to kick into gear, so that's good news there because it is really, really small. And there's your 7-day forecast, and we don't see a lot of changes. Just going to watch the wind closely for the Santa Barbara South Coast the next couple of days, especially in the evening hours or early evening. San Ynez, warm and even a little on the hot side, and then starts to cool off as we get a stronger onshore flow by the second half of next week. Ventura, same story there, just kind of cruising with those 60s and staying very mild. And Santa Maria, look at that, 70s and a couple of 60s, right about where you should be for this time of year. So no complaint forecast. Again, just got to keep an eye on the winds because fire obviously is through the roof as far as concerns.
Thank you, Sean. And the parking lots are filling up fast, especially during Cowboys training camp weekends. The fee is there. It's free to go see the practice, but there is a fee that benefits youth programs, and the parking costs less on weekdays than weekends. The Cowboys and their mascot Rowdy will call Oxnard home until mid-August. You'll find a link to more information on our mobile app and our website. Coming up, a former UCSB basketball star signed with an NBA squad to play in the Summer League. And Mookie Betts is back in action for the Boys in Blue. Your weekend news continues next on your local